Yeah, I do. It's crazy. Same name, same birthday, same position. It's cool. It's really cool.
When did you guys figure that out?
Well, when he came in as a freshman, we kind of like figured it out. We weren't really that close then, and then the next year after that, it was kind of like obviously a reoccurring thing. But it's kind of cool to, we stay in the same hotel room together, so we kind of get to share our birthday together every year. So it's pretty special for sure.
Do you celebrate together?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, we celebrated the win together. Kind of just get back from Air Force and head straight to the house and go to bed. But yeah, we do. It's cool to share that moment and share a win together on a day like that.
What do you think his nicknames? Apparently the Mats. I don't.
Yeah, the Mats, the double M's. I don't know. We don't really have like nicknames together. We just call him Wags and they call me Lauter. But
Nate said they call you guys the Mats. It's not like the flashiest nickname, but I guess it works.
Yeah, I guess it does. It's plain and it's simple. So I guess we're the Mats from now on.
How much fun have you had bonding with him? I mean, he's a younger guy, he's clearly loaded with potential, and he kind of already ran that course, So like, how much does that kind of help you guys bond and do those things?
Yeah, it is cool. We like to go grab food and stuff off the field, and then obviously on the field he's improved so much, and it's so cool to see his growth and it makes me feel good about like myself and being a leader. And when I'm able to leave this place, Boise State's got another good tight end who could be great.
Was his birthday present to you tripping over the 3-yard line?
Yeah, that's what we said in the team meeting. He set me up for a touchdown, which was pretty sweet. Yeah, we kind of joked around about that, but he knows he can make those plays.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, wound up with a pretty good birthday present, getting that first touchdown of the season.
Yeah.
Man, what was that like? What was going through your veins?
Yeah, that was sweet. We we called a play on I think we're on the 3-yard line. That works really well. Actually, Wags was the first read on that to the flat, and then it was covered, and then Maddox was able to get backside to me. So, it was a special moment. That we both had a good game together, and yeah, hopefully we can get in the paint more often.
Hit that gritty right after.
Yeah, Maddox comes up to me and he's like, do the gritty, and we kind of just went with it. Probably didn't look too good, but that's all right.
This offense, a lot of people catch passes, 8, 9, 10 people, and a lot of people get 3 and 4. Is it the offense? Is it Maddox reading it, combination of both? Why do you think every game it's like 8, 9 people catch, 4 or 5 is the top?
Yeah, I think, it's the coaches putting us in positions. So, we're not out there just running around dead tired. I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is always to get open. And if you get open, Maddox is going to get the ball to you. But, yeah, I think personnel-wise, the coaches do a good job of, utilizing all the athletes we have on offense. And it's kind of cool to see, obviously transitioning from last year, we had a few guys, right? We had 3 or 4 that we would just target the whole game. But now it's cool to get everyone involved. And when that happens, an offense is just so much more explosive.
What about in general? 500 plus yards the last 2 games. I mean, with that, just you're getting more explosive plays.
Yeah.
I know there was some frustration after the first game, but how do you kind of look at the way Nate's dialing it up and what you guys have done, the last couple of games?
Yeah, I think, the first game just hit us right in the mouth, and we kind of realized that. And it was the way we changed, the way we started practicing, the way we started trusting the offensive coaches that we were, able to go out there and execute, at the highest level. Obviously, Eastern Washington, I mean, they're a good opponent, but they're not Air Force. So it was good to see us go out there and do that against Air Force. That gives us confidence to go against some of these other teams and do it over and over again.
How fun is it as an offense just to have games like that where you almost have to match them score for score?
Yeah, it is fun. Literally our offense is rallying up. We knew, when we hit that field, when the defense got off the field, whatever happened out there on defense, we're always supporting our defense, but whatever happened, we're going to get the ball and we're going to go down and score.
I'm sure the answer is anything that comes your way, but do you have a play that you anticipate maybe more than the others? Is it something more downfield or the screen pass you caught? What do you kind of...
Yeah, I think, when we put a screen in, for me, I definitely, get fired up for that. When I see that, in the openers are going to be called, I kind of I kind of like get fired up about it, but at the same time, you know, we still got to execute and make that work. And then obviously, you know, tight ends are built for the red zone. So once we get down in the red zone, you know, I get fired up for whatever play's called to me.
Why are screen passes effective for tight ends, or what can they be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because, you know, we're selling pro at first, right? So when they see us in protection, you know, everyone starts bailing, you know, pass. And then, you know, next thing you know, we just pop it right to the tight end. And it's pretty much a explosive every time. And if it's not, if the defense reads it well, like, we got to turn it into explosive. We got to get yards.
I'm kind of going back and like looked over. I was looking it up for Chris a couple weeks ago, but like if you look at the top 10 yard after catch list in the Spencer Danielson era, you like dominated. Like, how good does that make you feel? And
yeah,
like, why is that such a good part of your game?
Yeah, I think just being able to find space and be able to sell, you know, that run, get into that play action mode, so I can go downfield and make these plays in space. And then obviously, you know, when I'm selling run, like I said, like, you know, all the DBs are sucked up. Next thing you know, I slip behind them or whatever. I mean, we've seen that happen before. But yeah, I think that's a big reason why. And then obviously it's our offensive coaches, you know, putting me in the right position to do that.
Matt, about 5-6 weeks ago, we stood in here and you said you wanted to be one of the best tight ends in the nation.
Yeah.
You know, Coach D has talked about it. How's that going so far for you? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm in a good place. For me, I need to work on my finish and how I finish during plays. So, you know, scouts at the next level can see I have that in me. You know, I think they're always looking at that, you know, staying attached to a block and being able to finish that defender. And then passing game wise, just, you know, being able to practice to a high ability so I can go out there and win versus man and find zones versus zones. And then, you know, those big games will come.
Mm-hmm. And just, how are you liking the offense so far this
Yeah.
season? You know, last season, obviously, running the ball for obvious reason, but it's much more 50-50 this year, running and passing.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think Nate does a great job with play calling, and then obviously he's my coach, so he's trying to get the tight ends in positions where they can succeed. It's definitely fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing football this year.
What are you seeing on film from App State's defense, and just as a program? You know, I'm sure you grew up watching college football. What have you always, you know, kind of admired about that program?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're, you know, like a Boise State type program, right? They've had success. Coach D showed a few clips of them beating Michigan. I think it was 2007 or something like that. They had a big upset against, I think it was number 6 Michigan or something like that. And then they went on to beat other good teams. This year's team, they're solid. They got a good Will Backer. They got a few athletes, a good amount of transfers on their team. You know, we've seen some transfers from some big schools, so these guys know how to play football. So we're excited to get after it on the blue and defend the blue.
Did you notice anything different in terms of the noise volume without the end zone down, without the fan center in the last game?
The noise volume?
Yeah, just with the crowd and stuff. What was just like, I guess, not having fans down here and having this building going up?
Yeah, I didn't really notice too much of a difference, to be honest with you. I mean, they're working hard out there. It honestly could be louder this game with them working so fast. They're like putting up walls and stuff. But I think it was cool that our student section, we could see our student section from that sideline and how packed out that student section was. That was pretty sweet.
What was, I know you do it in practice and stuff, but for a game, what was it like being on the other side?
Yeah, it was honestly, for the offensive side of ball, like, we're usually on that sideline, so it was kind of something we're used to. Yeah, nothing crazy. I just think, like, looking up at our student section and noticing that's super cool.
And I know you're not going to be here maybe to experience it or whatever, but just what do you make of the every day we show up? It looks like you said, something else is going up and it's coming together pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's good for the university and then also good for the players as well. I think, you know, they're going to benefit from it. And although I won't score a touchdown on this end zone and be able to celebrate, hopefully I can maybe find a spot in the booth up here sometime.
What was going when Max went down? There was that. I mean, I know you're probably focused on just like lining back up the next play, but there was that series that you got to go over to the sideline? Like,
Yeah.
Do you go check on them? Like, what goes through your mind? Like, what do you do during that?
Yeah, I think Coach D did a good job of talking to us before the game. Like, adversity was going to hit us at some point in that game. And when Maddox went down, I was like, I know he's a tough dude, so he's going to tape up, do whatever he's got to do, and be back in the game. But obviously, he went down 3 and out. They go down and score. Like, that's tough. Like, it's tough to come back from that. And then, we had Max Cutforth step up. That's why we prioritize, practicing so hard. So, like, when stuff does happen like that, it's not like, oh, it's over. Like, we're just going to try to run the ball and see if it works. Like, we still can – Coach Potter still can call the plays he needs to call. And then, obviously, once Maddox came back in, our confidence was up. So we were ready to go down and attack and score.
Good. I mean, he looked pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody that pounds the ground after they go down, you kind of like worry for a second. He did one of those.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the way, like whatever they had to do to get back out there.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think, he's a stud. And then, obviously, like, adrenaline plays a huge part of that. So, yeah, he did look good, and I'm proud of him and excited to see where, he's at this week. He's been hitting rehab hard, and we're expecting him to come out and have a big game.
I feel like it's one of his strengths that he's always had, but like, especially in the Air Force game, like he got rid of the ball. Like, it just seemed like super quick. Like everything was on time, it felt like.
He's got a very quick release. So, as a receiver, when you get your head out of the break, you got to be ready for that ball.
I know you obviously have confidence in Max. You've seen him practice, but to see him come in and do that in a game and lead you on a touchdown drive there, what does that do for his confidence, but also for you guys if you need him again?
Yeah, I think it builds both of our confidence, and that also stems from practice. But obviously, like in a game like that, at whatever 6,000 feet of elevation, that plays a big role. That you're able to go down and drive and get a touchdown in the red zone. So I think that builds our confidence, and then just practice. And I've always said, like, good or bad play, Maddox always looks at me and I always feel confident. I never feel down or like I need to change something. Like, so that's what I like about Maddox.
What's your mind when you line up next to Cage Casey?
Yeah, I think he's a good player. He's able to communicate with me very well, so we understand our combos. And me and Cage have been working together for a little while, so like we're pretty good at understanding like angles of blocks, which is cool. So definitely, like, my confidence is high when I'm next to Cage Casey. It was cool to see him get out in space and block like that and then run down the field at after the play. Like, he's an athletic dude for his size.
For a dude that's like 310, 315, he sells run,
Yeah.
and then gets out of there, and then he's like sprinting 40 yards downfield.
Yeah.
Like, how impressive is that for a dude his size? He makes it look pretty easy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hype around Cage Casey for a reason. When we see that on film, he makes, the biggest block of the play right there. And then Chris Marshall's also, making a big block as well. Don't forget about that. But yeah, it is cool to see like all the extra work Cage puts in, like after practice. Like, he's probably still in the weight room right now, like stretching out, doing ankle mobility and stuff like that. And that's a place me and him are both trying to grow as well, so we can continue on to the next level.
Matt, just you personally, can you walk me through the appeal of being a tight end? Because you got to get in there on those big block plays for the running, and then you got to be able to take a hit, make a catch. You're all over the field, man.
Yeah. I just think, it's kind of crazy because like college football just like preps you for like being a tight end, and obviously they do a good job recruiting. But like I came in here at 220, and now I'm 243, 245, a lot heavier than I was last year too. I was around 235. So it feels good that, I'm a little bit bulky and I can go down and block a nickel or a Mike or a safety, even an end at, when they need me to block an end, but also like go out for a route. And like having Wags now helps as well too. Like we can run 12P sets. Like we could, if he needs to block inline, I need a break after a route, Potter's got it dialed up. So I've been having a blast this year, and we got to continue to win. We got to continue to practice hard so we could be successful. Sweet. Thank you guys.